Hello! Welcome back to Minecraft. Today, we are in Bedrock Edition, because we're checking out the new beta. You can see the lovely new world generation around us. This nice lake. This is very cool. I'm liking the new changes. But, today we're checking out the Sculk. We have the Sculk Catalyst, which generates Sculk from dead mobs. And we have a farm here to sort of make an XP bank out of the thing. So we can turn it on and see it working here. Then we come up here to spawn the skeletons in that convert it to Sculk. So if we wait a while here, we'll see some skeletons coming down through here and make their way into this sort of divide by 3. It's a 3-way AND gate that just opens all the trapdoors when they're all filled up. So it waits till it has 3 skeletons to drop down, which it should here soon. And then once it has all 3 skeletons, it drops them down, and then it converts the stone to Sculk. And then it pushes the Sculk over here to be stored. Now, it's not a 100% conversion rate. I still have some stone getting pushed in with the Sculk, but it's about as good as I can get it for now, and this divide by 3 improves it a lot based on just dropping them down out of the spawner. So, I'd say this is working pretty well. Also, we have a hopper minecart down there that all the items get pushed into eventually, so you don't miss out on bones and arrows from your skeletons. But yeah, all in all, this is a pretty simple farm, and it gives you a pretty decent amount of EXP. Let me come down here and show you this working. The flying machine just pushes one row of Sculk over, and it gets pushed up, and then the whole wall gets pushed out once it's filled up. And I'll AFK here for a little while and get the block of Sculk built up, and then I'll show you guys how much XP you get from it, and a few other ways that you can use the Sculk to store your experience. Alright, we have a decent bit of Sculk built up here now. Let's let these skeletons get through, then we'll go down and shut it off. Alright. Yeah, I was only AFK for about 15 minutes here. I'd say this is a pretty decent amount of Sculk. If we go into survival, we can see how we do on experience. Oh, that's not how you do it. There we go. I'm already at level 7 here, so keep that in mind. And as you can see, there's a little bit of stone still in here, but it's really not a lot. You know, it's, I'd say 90-95% consistently Sculk. There's not a whole lot of stone. And it's very satisfying to plow through this stuff. Alright, so after all the Sculk, we have 21 levels, which is pretty good, and there was only 12 stone in there. So I'd say that's a pretty decent ratio of Sculk to stone. Now, if you want to upgrade this farm, something very interesting that I can show real quick, if I go back to Creative, you can actually blow Sculk up with TNT, and it will still drop experience. So theoretically, you could build a blast chamber to house all your Sculk, and then release a whole bunch of a whole bunch of experience at once with one piece of TNT, and then well, you'd have a pretty effective experience bank. So as you can see the experience drop out of it here. Oop, all the experience falls down. And I believe it's 1 experience per Sculk, regardless of the mob that's killed to make it. So you can't use heavier mobs to get more experience stored. But it's still, I think, a pretty effective way of storing experience, at least compared to furnaces, which take, in this version of the game, as much as 8 hours to build up a repair. But I would say you could probably pretty easily get a full tool repair out of this simple setup here. And it only takes a few minutes to go through and break the Sculk, and you could accelerate that even more with TNT if you wanted to. So I think this is a pretty cool concept, and I'm excited to see what people can do with this going forward out of the betas and when it's in the full game. But yeah, that's all I have to show today. Hopefully you guys are digging the new features as much as I am, because I think this is just awesome. It's a really cool new system in the game. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time, and take care!